we gotta figure out our volume. Hold on, man.
No problem. I struggled with this the first time I started. You guys hear me okay?
That's better.
Just can we crank the volume?
Yeah, just put it up.
Okay. Am I okay?
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Excellent.
Here, let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Cool.
You push it out a little bit.
Okay, this is probably...
There it is.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, this is probably one of the most anticipated interviews for me. Let me just start at the beginning by first saying thank you for your contribution to music, because your music brought me back to what I used to like. That post-punk era, The Cure, Devo, Susie and the Banshees, all that stuff. Some Kind of Wonderful soundtrack, Sisters of Mercy. As you know, I'm the runner, okay? And I promote indie artists and unique bands on my radio station. And I believe your music starts at 3 o'clock every day because I like it, okay? And I'm going to keep playing it as long as you guys keep putting out hits. And then I've got a resident band who's here locally with me. They're called China Rose. They actually performed in my backyard. But what I do is I promote bands free of charge because I enjoy doing it. It's a hobby of mine. And I look for bands with unique sounds and sounds that I like and I know that larger audience will like around the world, because my station broadcasts around the world. And it's amazing the number of listeners that I get and some of the feedback. I mean, one morning I'll wake up and I'll get, people from the United States around the country. And then I'll get a ton of people from Croatia. It's amazing how it works, Or then I'll look up and I'll get somebody from like Peru, Greece, and it's amazing how this works. But your music has been a great contribution to my station, and I appreciate it. Can we do a quick introduction? I have your names here. How do you pronounce it? Renal?
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it right.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm usually decent with names. Gian?
Gian, yeah, that's
Gian.
me.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Gian, I got you. Yeah, you've been communicating with me. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Winston?
I'm Winston's replacement.
Yeah, he's not anywhere.
Okay, I should know that. That's my bad, okay? So... And we had some feedback there. Hey, hang on.
This is... Okay,
we're back.
We got you.
There we go. Okay. And who's Chris?
He's also not in the band. This is our new drummer, V.
V. Okay.
Yeah, V, short for Vahak.
Vahak. Okay, so you're the name on Skype.
Yeah, we're on my Skype.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So let me ask you. I went online. Obviously, I did my research. You started your band in 2012, October 2012. So
yeah, around then.
Why post-punk?
That's a good question.
Because one, it's tough to do.
That's true.
Given all the artists out there, because you really post-punk, there were a lot of bands that came out, and they all had a unique sound, different style. They did different things with instruments to develop their craft and their sound, which made them stand apart from everyone else. Like for example, The Cure. I think Robert Smith said he did something with the pedal in his guitar, and that was their signature sound. And I'm a big fan of The Cure. Followed The Cure since the late 80s. But your music, you guys put a lot of time into your writing. And when you're like in your, I don't know how old you guys are, okay? And I'm not going to tell you my age. But when I was like, in college, when you meet that girl or you got that thing you got to do, and it's perfect evening. Like for us in college, it was spring. We had a bunch of concerts, and you were getting ready, and you were determined to go do something, and you were going to have a blast, and it was like the perfect night. and you always had that perfect song, your theme for that night. And it was always a particular song. I love The Cure mixed up after they mixed it up from the 80s, and I had different songs there. Lenny Kravitz, his album when it came out, that was my theme. And it puts you in, it put me, and I'm sure it put others into that. It's that emotion where you're like, nothing's going to stop me. I'm gonna kill this shit today, and nothing's going to stop me. I'm not intimidated, I'm like this, that, and what have you. That's what your entire music portfolio did for me, because I'm like listening to this. I'm listening to it while I'm working out, and you somehow captured that sound. That it's like Amazon captured the feeling of Christmas every time you get a package, right? So that's what you did for that era of music in the 2000s. And so I mean, it's a good niche for you, and I love it, and I think it's going to go a long way, and I'm going to be right there to keep playing your music. So tell me about because there were so many other bands out there. Tell me, who was your greatest influence? And again, I don't like reading other people's interviews. Okay, I just don't. I like doing my interviews, because if you read other people's interviews, you start to ask the artist the same questions that the other interview did. So I just want to ask you, we'll go off on some tangents, and I want to keep this, kind of loose, if you will, comfortable. So what were your favorite bands, and what kept you going to develop your sound?
First of all, we just want to say thank you for everything you just said. That's a massive compliment. And we're really happy that you enjoy all the music that we've made so far, and that you're promoting it. That's a huge help to us, and that's really awesome to hear. As far as influences, I mean, where we come from, it's predominantly like punk and hardcore, post-hardcore, and we listened to that growing up in high school. Me and Renal are brothers.
Okay.
We've been in bands for a long time doing punk and hardcore stuff, and we just got to a point where we wanted to do something different. I think so. That's where the post-punk element comes in. Adding pianos, adding synths, adding more sounds to the the punk style of songwriting. And as far as influences, we love The Cure. We love the Smiths.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Morrissey, yeah.
Television. We like Interpol. The Editors.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Interpol, because I've read, everyone tells you sound like Interpol, but I will tell you my favorite band of the 90s was Interpol. It still is. But you've replaced them. No, seriously. I mean, I played Interpol running. I used to, run marathons years ago. I would play Interpol while I ran. But you've got more of and I think someone described it as a melancholy. I don't think it's a melancholic sound. I think it is it's more of it's not abrasive. It's right between abrasive and soft emotion. It's like you hit that pocket, that keeps you focused and listening. And every song you've made sounds different. And so whatever, all the influences that you stated there, I hear it. I totally hear it. And it's unfortunate that we don't have your type of artist in numbers like we did during that post-punk era, because that defined a lot of people. It's like, during that period, you were an individual. If you look at the old John Hughes movies from the 80s and 90s, all the characters had their own style. Everyone was unique. They spoke differently, dressed differently, and they were appreciated for who they were. Today, it seems like everyone must align themselves in this plastic world. It's like people are afraid to be who they are. And I hear that in your music, and that's really... I became a corporate clone, okay? I am today. I work for a very large global company, and I became that way. And a lot of us, we fall into this box that and the walls keep getting taller and taller as we get older, and we forget who we are and what's outside that box. Well, you guys made me climb out of that box, because I'm telling you, man, I was into music. I had a lot of friends, and the other band, China Rose, when they performed in my backyard, they did the same thing. I mean, these guys they're kids. They're young, and they sound pretty good. But they did the same thing for me. But when I heard you, I was like, I mean, let me show you something. This is my, can you see this? This is my cassette deck from the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
This was in the garage. And I've got 9 Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine. I've got New Order. I've got the Smiths' Susie. I even have Queensryche Empire. Okay? One of the best rock bands that came out. I mean, that is an awesome album, okay? And I got it on cassette. Modern English, Depeche Mode, Policy of Truth, Peter Gabriel, Kate Bush. So, and I've got the Eagles in here, okay? So, this is my stash from the 80s. It ain't going nowhere. But I used to, it's like, I want to say, I used to be somebody, But no, you guys have brought me back to that, so I thank you. And my wife will tell you that I've been playing your music like crazy. So tell me about the guitar riff. That guitar riff in Revelator, man. And for those people that are watching, let me just play. Tell me if it's too loud, okay? I'm on your band camp page, so bear with me. All right, well, you know what? We'll just go to iTunes. Bear with me. That is a badass riff. You gotta bear with me with technology. It's great, but sometimes we have some issues.
No, it's all good.
That's Alpha Decay. Hang on. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is what caught me. That opening guitar riff is mesmerizing, and it sounds excellent on good equipment. So tell me about, because you have a lot of those. You have a lot of good guitar riffs. So tell me.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. It's the way it happens with Skype. I did a video with a lady in New York last week, and we had to go to Google Hangouts because Skype just crashed. And Google Hangouts crashed afterwards, so whatever. And it's actually a better picture now. I guess we left off about
a couple different chants going on. And I think that was the most exciting part of that song for me anyway, with lyrics and vocals and stuff.
It's a beautiful song, and it's well crafted. There's only a few songs, I think, for The Cure. Obviously, Let's Go to Bed. And I don't want to say Killing an Arab, but that is the name of the song. Yeah. And I mean, they're good songs, but certain songs stick with you, and Length of Love kind of stuck with me. I was actually listening to it earlier. Actually, I listen to your songs pretty much all day. One, I was trying to learn them so I could talk about them. But I'm just being honest with you. My interviews are pretty loose, and they're not scripted, just so you know. I may write down a couple songs and influences that I think about, but I don't have this, this Q&A. I don't really care for that. I do that during the day. But I appreciate you guys' candid nature. It really adds to the interview, and I want to get to know who you are. My goal is to know the artists that I play on my station, and just so you know, on my website, I'm putting the videos under artist interviews on my website as well. I just recently cleaned that up, so it's nice and sharp. The Cut a Hole video reminded me of MTV during the mid-'80s, and that's a compliment. That's not. I'm not denigrating at all. I miss that. I miss the days of Saturday morning. You were too old. You were too young to go anywhere. Okay. and you didn't have any money, and what'd you do? You sat in front of MTV when they actually played good artists, good music, and that's what Cut a Hole did for me. So, one, are you going to make some more videos? And do you have a video for Length of Love?
I mean, yeah, we definitely want to make some more videos, but no, we don't have a music video for The Length of Our Love yet. I mean,
we have a new EP that we're working on. We're about to release it
Excellent.
very soon. We're really excited for you to check it out.
Oh, yeah.
If you dig some of our older stuff, I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy it, but it's very New Politicians It's like the most New Politicians EP that I think we've done. Totally. So you'll definitely dig it.
Yeah, just guys, definitely let me know, because I like to rotate the music, and it's my station. So if I want to play a song from 10 years ago for 10 years, I'll do it. Okay. No, I think you do, because I interviewed the Cuckoos from Austin, Texas, and I don't know if you know who they are, but the guy just turned 21, and he sounds like freaking Jim Morrison. Okay, he's 21 years old. I did an interview with him. You look at these guys, and I said the same thing to them. Every song that you make is different. And when you have an eclectic interest in music making, meaning you retain your uniqueness, but you're able to dole out different songs that are on different platforms, different latitudes, as opposed to being linear, because that's a lot of the music today. And I say that a lot in my interviews, is that linear music is pretty easy to make. I'm an electronic artist. I learned how to use the different DAWs as I was working on my master's degree, high on coffee. I couldn't go to sleep, so I started surfing the web, just trying to learn how to make it. And that's how I got started back in 2004. But it takes a whole lot of effort to make an album where the songs are completely different, and they either empower you, depress you, or they align with that emotion that you're feeling for that day. And I think that your album, and I'll be honest with you, I had a hell of a day Friday at work, okay? And no, I did. And I just put your music on because I'm one of these cave guys. I work from home, and I can get tunnel vision, working. And what I'm trying to do more of is listening to more of the music that I like. And your music really does that. And that Length of Love, I'm telling you, that is it. That's why I'm begging you to do like a 10-minute EP of Length of Love, because it's a damn good song. The first album, you guys are, I think you're a lot better than you think you are. Seriously. Me standing on the outside, our music is completely different that we make. But, when you make a song or you spend time putting an album together, you hear it so freaking much. You start getting questionable, like, should we? For sure. Oh, yeah, because you're tired. It's like you're tired of hearing it. But then when other people hear it and they tell you what it actually means to them and does for them, you have a talent. And I'm glad that you guys give me the opportunity to, one, you're sharing it with me, and that you've given me the opportunity to play your music. Again, I love playing good music, and I love promoting artists. So I really appreciate what you guys have done with your music. I mean, it's phenomenal how each track is completely different. Now, tell me about Alpha Decay and the DIY producing, because everyone I talk to, studio time's very expensive. And I think I read that you either finished Alpha Decay doing the old DIY?
Well, the thing is, Alpha Decay was the second EP that we ever did. We didn't release the first one. The second one was Alpha Decay, and we actually went into a studio in New York, and we did the whole thing there. We did the guitars, we did the drums, we did bass, vocals, the whole thing. In a few hours. In a few hours, because, we didn't have a lot of money, broke college kids, whatever, trying to scrap some cash together. So, and then after that, we realized that we could do a lot of these things at home, like record the guitars at home, and
kind of just piece it together ourselves and not be on the clock. And that allowed for more, I think, artistic freedom and able to like explore the songs more and develop them more.
Yeah. Well,
so that's how we do it now. That's how we worked on our most recent record, and also Remission, which is the one that just got released on Other Voices Records.
Yeah, I love Remission. I do. And that artwork. Who does your artwork?
We have a guy he's from Milan, Italy, and he found us on SoundCloud, and he was like, "Hey man, like I love your music, but I don't think that your art matches the sound. He's like, I think you need better art." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting, man. Like, make something for us." So he made that artwork and emailed it to us, and we were all blown away. We were like, "No way, man! Like, this is rad."
That's a bold statement.
Yeah,
pretty ballsy.
Backed it up though.
Yeah. Hey.
Fires for us too.
It's a really good cover. I mean, it really is. But that's a pretty ballsy statement.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, really.
Maybe because he's European. I don't know. I was like, he just went for it.
Well, no, it's unique, is what it is. It kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan. You know that Japanese cartoon?
I'm familiar with the name.
Yeah. Well, when you have time, Google it, because it reminds you of the characters. There's some weird, and they have skin and flesh. Yeah, they're like 30 stories tall. But anyway, so I read that you do tour. Have you been to Chicago?
No, but we want to go.
Yeah.
Well,
you're the.
But we didn't really have the cash together at the time to get out there.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, it'd be cool if you guys were here, because then you could play in my backyard. That would be incredibly awesome, because I know China Rose is going to come back this summer. We have a backyard party called Hullapalooza. It's my last name, and it's pretty good. The kids come out, and we have all the neighbors come out, and it's gained traction. Obviously, I have to be careful who I let in my house. But no, that'd be great if you were around. That'd be fantastic, because then we could broadcast it. Because one thing I'm working on too, the plan is to eventually broadcast these interviews live on the radio station. But I've got to work out the technical aspect of it. Because if you have too many things going, you have problems. Things tend to crash. So, but that's in the future. So what are you've got the warm weather coming. What gigs do you have coming up around the New Jersey area, that New York, New Jersey area?
So far, we just have one coming up at a venue that's you could call it legendary, I guess. It's got a big name, the Court Tavern in New Brunswick. We're playing there.
Nice.
And that's on the 25th of this month.
Okay.
And, it's actually a benefit, I think. It's for the New Brunswick Soup Kitchen or something? Yeah, for a local soup kitchen. So we played there, we played there more times than we can count on our fingers. So.
No, it's all good.
Okay, cool. But we played there a bunch of times, and it's, for us right now, that's a good place to be, because being in the middle of finishing this record, to be able to go somewhere where we know what the sound's going to be like, we know we can get a nice crowd out there. It's a good place to test sounds out. Yeah, for sure.
Who's doing your promotion? You're promoting. Who does your social media? You?
We do, yeah. And then we work with a company called Blue Soap Media, and they get us like reviews and stuff like that. But we really don't have any like major promotion. We're always looking to network with people and get people to help us get the music out there.
Okay. Yeah, I may be able to help you with that.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, but what I asked in return is, you tell people that your music's playing, okay, at therunner.com starting at 3 o'clock Central.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, wherever you are, just let people know if they want to hear your music, listen to the station. And being in Chicago, we have all kinds of clubs here. You know, we've got House of Blues. We've got everything in Chicago. And, you know, we're doing Lollapalooza again. Not that I have any ties to Lollapalooza. That is political. As political as it can get. You know, 10 years ago it really wasn't, but it is now. But I'll see what I can do. And China Rose, they play around Illinois a lot, and they do play in Chicago. And I think, they were trying to watch this video when I was live Facebooking, but I'll talk to them as well, because I interviewed a guy by the name, his group is the Afro Nick. He's a guitar player from Greece. He's like a Greek Jimmy Buffett. And yeah, man, I'm telling you, and he has a really unique sound, and he's what Jimmy should be now. But because of Jimmy's age, this guy could really take over the keys with his music. But he asked me the same thing about Chicago. So, you know, I'll get with China Rose and see what they can work out. But I just, you know, your sound is so freaking good that you guys need better promotion.
Yeah, we agree.
No, you do, man. I'm looking at your YouTube views, and I'm looking at I'm just like, this isn't right. This isn't right. You guys are, I mean, you know, there are some bands you're like, you're right where you need to be, okay? But, but you guys, no. You have a very, very good, solid, crisp, professional sound, and it's unique from anybody else. People will align you with Interpol, but Interpol is different. They are. They really are. No, they have a different sound. I mean, you may have the same modeling, but I think you have a very different sound.
We agree, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. No, Interpol's completely different. But you guys are too good to have the views that you have. And so what I do is I do the social media, and it's really easy for me to do because I work from home and I've got my computer and everything. And so I use different applications and tags. And so every time your music will play, something will go out. Okay? But you have to be cognizant when you're out to tell people where to listen to your music consistently. Now, I know you've got the Bandcamp site, which is fantastic. But if I'm on my mobile device and I just want to hear your music at 3 o'clock, because my station is accessible via mobile. It's just therunner.com. The player's right there. And your music starts at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock your time, which is peak. So what I'm trying to do is get good music on that station. But for the bands, it's literally, it's free for you because I like doing this. And there's no strings attached, guys. I mean, there really isn't. I know how tough it is to start a band. To get cash, work your day job, raise your family while you're trying to pursue your dream. And so that's what your music has done for me. And some people think I'm crazy for doing it, but you know what? You only live one time, right? So, you know, you stick with it. But there are people out there that appreciate your music and what you're doing. And all I would say is, again, for the third time, please put an EP out for Length of Love. Please. And not only that, you should put it out there because like Nine Inch Nails had a website called Nine Remixed, and I did. Yeah, I did one. Me, I'm not, and I really enjoyed it. And if you guys did something like that, you would pull more people to your music, and then you would hit different genres. Because I do electronic. There's house. I could totally do a house track with some of your music. That way you're hitting different, genres. Yeah, you've got to, it's, I'm online a lot, and again, I've got a very musical background. I'm very eclectic, and, it's the remixes that really get you the broader audience, but I know you want to stick to your sound and your craft and your genre, and I'm never going to change the alternative rock segment. So I wouldn't play a remix Length of Love on alternative rock. It would play during the electronic, which I run for 6 hours. And I'm trying to expand my alternative rock because right now it only runs for 3 hours. So anyway, just, think of that if you are willing to release the stems, and, you obviously have to have a password sign in and you approve who can do it. And if I were you, I'd be like, okay, where's my ROI if this guy remixes my music? Okay, so where with me, I could broadcast it. Your music would play during the alternative rock, which would be the main tracks. Then you'd be played again during the electronic 6 hour. You're getting exposure. And so that's how I'm just saying, that's how I would be thinking about it. Because
definitely send us an email with more info, because we're interested in that. That seems interesting.
Okay. Oh, yeah, guys. I mean, you have a hell of a sound. And I'm working with this group called Atella out of Bergen, Norway. Okay. They sent me their music, and they do remixes and things. And another thing I'm going to add to my website is collaboration, because I think that a lot of these artists from around the world, they don't know, you guys don't know each other, and they do remixes, and they're damn good. So, you guys get together, you get to talk, and you could put out a remix, an EP of any, whatever. There's another guy by the name of John Kennedy. This guy is freaking phenomenal. He's in London. And if you Google John Kennedy, he has so much music and so many remixes. It is ridiculous. But that's what I'm talking about. You could get past the Northeast and go around the globe, but your music has to be heard.
Yeah, we need someone like you to help put stuff like that together. You know what I mean? So it's great that we got in contact.
Absolutely. But you guys, you know what? Whenever you want to talk to me or you have something, just hit me up. I mean, I am as personable as your neighbor. Okay. There's no ulterior motive here. There isn't. I enjoy doing this, and I think it's fun, and that I'm actually talking to the people, the artists that I'm playing on my station. And what's great about the station is that there are people that I've got a ton of music on there, and it's funny because the people see it. I have an automatic Twitter feed on Twitter. So when your music plays, the song and the title comes up. Okay? It's just automatic. And so I'll get people that they'll see their music, or they did a remix, and they'll say, hey man, thanks for playing that. That's what it's about. Seriously. So with that, I could talk to you guys until tomorrow, but I won't. It's Saturday night. I know you got stuff to do. I heard kids. I got kids too. But stay in touch. Did you have anything else? Any questions for me at all?
No questions. Yeah, just we'll be releasing a new record. It's called Room 101. It might be out on Victoria Records from Monterrey, Mexico.
Okay.
And we will definitely keep you posted on that. So that you start it, or And as far as like I know that you have a Twitter page, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that THERUNNER?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll start retweeting, and we'll put it out that we're playing on your station at 4 Eastern time.
All right, fantastic. And at 4, just check my feed, because you're going to see your music in there.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Every song that plays, it populates in my Twitter feed.
Okay, great. Nice, yeah.
Okay, so however, whatever I can do to help you guys, you let me know. But I'll see what I can do about trying to network in Chicago to see if I can get you guys something here, because I think you've got a phenomenal sound, and it should not go unnoticed. It should be spread across the lands, man. Okay. So, but anyway, hey, listen. Again, I was looking forward to this all week because I really enjoy your music, and again, thank you so much. Okay, to your contribution to music. Oh yeah. Okay.
Great to meet you, man.
Yeah, you too. And maybe down the road, as you put more music out, we can do another one, and maybe obviously it will go better. It'll go better. I promise. Okay.
Thanks, yeah, we'd love to.
All right. Well, hey, enjoy your Saturday night. I know you guys work hard. And again, if you need me for anything, just stay in touch.
Absolutely, man. For sure.
All right. Okay, guys. Hey, take care. Have a good night.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.